समस्त को गोटे नुआ वीडियो स्वागत। आमे पूर्व वीडियो रे ओडिया मीडियम रो DC3 रो ओडिया मीडियम रो क्वेश्चन आंसर को आलोचना करथिले। वर्तमान आमे इंग्लिश मीडियम रो जो DC3 रो जो परीक्षा आइछि तार क्वेश्चन आंसर ओडी को डिस्कशन करिवा। चलंदो प्रथम क्वेश्चन देखिबा। Tagore's curriculum for preschool did not focus on सठिक उत्तर हम 1 subject centered curriculum. Montessori classrooms are characterized by सठिक उत्तर हम 3 individualized teaching. 3 नंबर हम Gandhiji recommended a new approach during preschool years and named it सठिक उत्तर होची 2 नई तालीम. 4 pictures as communication aids makes abstract concept more concrete. सटीक उत्तर concrete 2. Special education means 2 is the right answer. Specially designed instruction that meets the unique needs of children with disability. The Indian Constitution guarantee the people with disability. 6 number answer 2 same rights as other members of society. 7 number question the main symptom of cerebral palsy is number 2 हो सटीक उत्तर lack of coordination in gross and fine motor movement. Next question parents of the child with disability do good deeds for other hoping their child will improve. This emotional stage is called सटीक उत्तर 4 bargaining. The behavior that indicate that a parent has begun to accept their child's disability is सटीक उत्तर है 2 when parents of the child with a disability respond with a hostile attitude towards the educator it is mostly because the number 10 number 2 सटीक उत्तर number 2. The term mobile in mobile crèche refers to 1 is the right answer. On Anganwadi center typically serves a population of about 2 is the right answer. A major challenge inducing the effectiveness of ICDS program is 2 is the right answer. The non-formal education section of the mobile crèche caters to children in the group of 3 is the right answer 6 to 12 years. Frequent temper tantrums of child are reinforced when 2 is the right answer. Number 16 which organization is responsible for preparing textbooks for school children in India? 2 is the right answer NCERT. Training of ICDS staff such as CDPOs, surveyor and Anganwadi worker is mostly undertaken by सटीक उत्तर होची 2. Give 5-year-old Sam frequently changes from one activity to another and cannot recognize numbers, colors and shapes. What kind of help does he need? Right answer is 2 1-to-1 teaching. Number 19 children who need crutches or a wheelchair are considered. 2 is the right answer. Children with movement difficulties. 20. Of the following, the hardest to measure directly is number 2 is the right answer. Option number 2. 21. An aggressive child who repels efforts at friendship would be considered having. Option 2 is the right answer. Which of the following statement about intellectual disability is true? Option 2 is correct. A child with damage to the spinal cord may show problems in. Second option is the right answer. 23 second option. 24. Muscular dystrophy affects which area of functioning? Right answer is option number 1. When a, when a child has a fit, option number 3 is the right answer. The condition when a child is born with one or both feet turned down is called. Option number 3 is the right answer. A symptom not shown by a mentally ill child. Option number 3 is the right answer. 28. A post postnatal factor that can cause intellectual disability, earlier known as mental retardation, in the child is. 28 second option is the right answer. Which of the following is a neurological disorder? Second option is the right answer. Polio. Number 30. Which educational thinker favored the idea of narrating spiritual and secular stories in young children? Option number 3 is the right answer. Tagore. Hearing loss in the range 20 to 40 decibel is referred to as. Option number 1 is right answer. Prelingual and postlingual deafness is determined by. Number 1 is right answer. What should be done to teach lip reading to children with hearing loss? Option number 3 is the right answer. Which communication method is used when more than two individuals share ideas? Option number 2 is the right answer. Group communication. 35. Interpersonal or one-to-one communication is especially useful for. Option number 2 is the right answer. Which of the following factor is not a barrier in communication? Option number 4 is the right answer. Communication can be called successful when. Second option is the right answer. Case study as a method of communication mainly helps people to. Number 1 is the right answer. An example of an action oriented message is. Number 3 is the right answer. To make a lecture more effective, you should. Option number 3 is the right answer. Number 41. The ideal group size for a group discussion is. Option number 2 is the right answer. Demonstration loss their impact if. Option number 1 is the right answer. 42.1. 43. During the discussion after a role play, the communicator or sender should. 43.1 is the right answer. Option number 1. 44. A case study should be. Number 1 is the right answer. Deep, factual and culturally relevant. Number 45. A good communicator should first. Option number 2 is the right answer. 46. Group work is useful because it the second option is right. Number 47. In a community campaign, the most important feature is that it is option number 3 is the right answer. The basic process involved in woman to woman strategy is option number 2 is the right answer. 49. According to one of the simplest definition, management means 49. 2 is the right answer. Second option. 50. The following is not listed as the characteristics of a good supervisor in the text. Option number 4 is the right answer. An example of non-recurring expenditure under budgeting is option number 3 is the right answer. Which of the following services is not provided by the mobile crèche for children of construction laborers? Option number 4 is the right answer. A child's behavior is considered difficult behavior when it option number 2 is the right answer. 53 2. Which of the following factor is not a possible cause of a bedwetting? Option number 4 is the right answer. 55. A withdrawn child should be helped to become more social by option number 3 is the right answer. Which of the following method helps to control aggressive behavior in children? Option number 3 is the right answer. Most blind people. Option number 3 is the right answer. 57. 58. Obstacle sense in blind person is due to number 58. 2 is the right answer. 59. The desire or feeling within an individual to work is called option number 2 is right answer. Motivation. The most effective way to convince a community to use oral rehydration solution or ORS would be to option number 3 is the right answer. 61. Which of the following is not an advantage of models and communication aids? Option number 1 is the right answer. Which of the following is not true of the planning process in management? The right answer is option number 4. The best communication aid for showing the growth of a scheme or program is a option number 1 is the right answer. The beneficiaries of an Anganwadi do not include option number 3 is the right answer. 65. The Indianization of Montessori materials was done by Modak. Option number 2 is the right answer. The role of an early childhood care worker in context of the child with disability does not include option number 3 is the right answer. Which of the following is not a part of a rehabilitation of persons with disability? Option number 4 is the right answer. The least restrictive educational settings for a child with disability is option number 1 is the right answer. Parents who do not let the child do the things she can do easily or with some effort are 69 3 is the right answer. Of the following condition, which one cannot be treated through physiotherapy? Option number 4 is the right answer. 71. You want to sensitize the community about the needs and rights of persons with disabilities. With method of communication is best suited for this purpose? 71. Option number 2 is the right answer. The concept of naturalism in education was introduced by option number 2 is the 3 is the right answer. Importance of mother's role in preschool education was emphasized by 4 is the right answer. Play gifts and play songs in the kindergarten were introduced by option number 2 is the right answer. Children with visual impairment may face most difficulty in option number 1 is the right answer. The Braille alphabet consists of option number 2 is the right answer, 6 dots. 77. The treatment of muscular dystrophy is option number 3 is the right answer. A child who has no friend, option number 2 is the right answer. If a child has a phobia of an object, you should, option number 3 is the right answer. Intelligence does not determine, option number 4 is the right answer. When a child does not want to interact with others and does not look at them eye to eye, it could indicate option number 2 is the right answer, autism. Economically, option number 82, economically disadvantaged children are considered special children because option number 2 is the right answer. The negative effects of labeling a person with disability include, option number 4 is the right answer. The principles to be kept in mind when working with children with intellectual disability include, option number 3 is the right answer. Which of the following emotion are commonly experienced by parents of a child with a disability? Option number 4 is the right answer. Arrange the following in correct sequence to show the relationship among impairment, disability and handicap. Option number 1 is the right answer. 87. Of the following which statement or statements is or are correct? 87. Option number 1 is correct. 88. Of the following which statement is or are correct? 88. Option number 2 is correct. Of the following which statement is or are correct? 89. Option number 4 is correct. Option number 4. 90. Of the following which statement is or are correct? Option number 3 is correct. 91. Of the following which statement or statements are correct? 91. Option number 4 is the right answer. 92. Of the following which statement is or are correct? Option number 3 is correct. 93. Of the following which statement or statements is or are correct? Option number 1 is correct. Of the following which statement or statements are correct? Option number 4 is correct. Of the following which statement or statements are correct? Option number 4 is correct. Which of the following reflects a negative attitude towards children with disability? Option number 1 is correct. The most suitable communication aid to show the structure of the organization is, option number 3 is correct. The most common cause of cerebral palsy is, option number 3 is correct. Which of the following is not a feature of a mobile crutches program? Option number 2 is correct. The last number, arrange the following steps of communication process in the correct sequence. ऑप्शन नंबर 2 इज करेक्ट BDCA। ଏଇଭଳି ଭାବରେ ଆମେ ଇଂଲିଶର 100ଟି ପରୀକ୍ଷାର ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଉତ୍ତର ଗୁଡ଼ିକ ଆଲୋଚନା କଲେ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇଭଳି ଭିଡ଼ିଓ ଦେଖିବା ପାଇଁ ଭିଡ଼ିଓଟିକୁ ଲାଇକ୍ ସେୟାର ଏବଂ ସବସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ୍ କରିବେ ଏବଂ ସାଙ୍ଗମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ନିହାତି ଫରୱାର୍ଡ଼ କରିବେ। ଧନ୍ୟବାଦ।